What up, what up? Say so G. Back with another topic, back with another video. So you guys already seen the title and the thumbnail, so I'm gonna get right into it. So admin notes, thanks again to all the subscribers that have subscribed to my channel. I endeavor to keep pushing videos out to give you leverage to better sales. Let's get into it. So, yeah man, so this is one of the more difficult videos I've done in the past. It's an incident that happened recently here. Today is April 19th of 2025. I want to say this incident happened yesterday, I believe. I'm not exactly sure. Don't quote me on it. But it is a very, very, very tragic situation. And, rest in peace to all the victims. Yeah, man. It's just really crazy. It's really crazy. But I wanted to talk about this topic because I've read a couple of articles about this incident, and from what it looks like, this is related to some military stuff to a certain degree, right? So, since I'm retired military, I wanted to see if I can give some insight on what's going on. But this is not going to be a video for me to speculate exactly why this person did this. It is very horrific what he did. I can't even imagine, the families that are being affected by this, the friends, the city as a whole, society as a whole, right? This is going to have some far-reaching effects on a lot of folks, man, because it involves children, and anything that involves children, it becomes a very, very sensitive topic when children are harmed. So, and with me having kids, like, yeah, this hits very, very close to home, man. Very close to home. So if anybody hasn't heard or have read on social media or some of these news outlets, and I've briefly read over some of this stuff, but apparently there's a gentleman in Louisiana, forget what city it is, that actually deleted where he shot 10 people from what the reports say. I'm pretty sure there's going to be some changes as time goes on, but from what I read as of now, he shot 10 people. 8 of them were children, and the eight of those 10 that were children passed away. Age ranges between 1 year old and 14, I believe. Yeah, man, this is crazy. I wasn't gonna make this video, man. Honestly, I really wasn't. You know what I'm saying? But once I saw that some of the articles was talking about that he was an Army vet, I was like, okay, let me read about this a little bit more and just to see what's going on here, right? So, he is an Army vet, allegedly. I'm not exactly sure. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, as time goes on, I'm pretty sure there's going to be some more information that comes out. But the initial reports right now says he's an Army vet. I'm not sure he's retired or he wound up on ETS and out the Army. I'm not exactly sure. But they're trying to speculate to a certain degree, or maybe there's some reports that actually says this, that he had PTSD, and they're trying to, well, I guess a news outlet is trying to relate this to PTSD, right? As far as like, he did this horrific thing because of PTSD. Now, I did see a video report a couple hours ago. Right now, I think it's like 7:30 at night. I saw this video report maybe like maybe noon time frame today. And long story short, I'm assuming it was either the chief of police or some representative of that police department. And he was answering questions and giving some information that he has at the time as far as what happened. So he mentioned, of course, the victims of the shooting, and then he says the person allegedly carjacked somebody and took a car, leaving the scene. Cops chased him. Not exactly sure if the guy crashed or he wound up like stopping the car, but eventually I guess he got out the car and then there was a gunfight allegedly and he was deleted. So he's not here no more, right? And I know a lot of folks would say, well, good riddance of bad rubbish and all these other things or whatever, but it's a very terrible situation. A lot of times when things happen like this, it always ends up with the person that actually does these crimes being shot afterwards, because a lot of these folks don't have nothing to live for. You know what I'm saying? I guess they're in a mental state like, well, I did this horrific thing, so I know I'm going to either get the death penalty or I'm going to wind up going to jail anyway for life. So I might as well just go ahead and just, just thug it out and basically like, let the chips fall where they may. And if I want to get deleted, then so be it, right? So a lot of times that's how things pan out. But what I would say is that I would definitely, and I know the family would like to have an explanation as far as like why he did this. You know what I'm saying? And we'll never get in that at this point unless he wrote some type of suicide letter or something. I'm not exactly sure, right? Once again, there's gonna be some more reports that are gonna come out as time goes on. But I'm gonna briefly talk about the PTSD part. So I was reading some of the comments of some of these posts about this situation, and a lot of folks were saying that that he had PTSD, and the PTSD was probably the reason why he did this thing. And then of course there was some some trolls and some folks who were saying that was he a ninja, meaning was he a NIG? You know the other letters and everything, whatever. I'm saying, like very disrespectful folks, man. You know what I'm saying? Very folks that that always take the opportunity to make this thing a race thing or make this thing a political thing. I'm pretty sure there was some posts that was talking about, well, he's a Democrat, or he must have been a Democrat, that's why he did this. Disgusting, like just ridiculous. So I personally have PTSD. I have combat PTSD. There's all kinds of PTSD, y'all. It's not just some cookie cutter type diagnosis that you give somebody based off of trauma or whatever they've gone through in life, right? You know what I'm saying? There are actual levels to PTSD, and for mine's is strictly combat. So, in other words, I developed my PTSD through combat, as far as like getting shot at, not being blown up, but like being in the vicinity of bombs blowing up, right? Hearing the whistle of a rocket going across my head. When you hear fireworks at 4th of July, you hear that whistle. It's a very distinct whistle, and it goes up. You see the firework goes up and it blows. That whistle is exactly to the letter what you hear when you hear a mortar going off. When I was in Afghanistan, I heard that whistle all the time. So when I came back to the States with about a year or two, I could not go to 4th of July events. I couldn't, because that whistle was just, it's the same. It's no different at all. Exactly the same. But as time has gone on, I've been in the States for at least, this would be 12 years that I've been back, right? So, I've gone through therapy, still going through therapy to this day, take medication. I go to church religiously, right? For lack of better words, real deep in the church, have placed more emphasis on serving God and all these other things. And I put a lot of things in my life to make sure that I stay regulated, that I stay in a mind state where, there is no crash out or there is no situation to where I go crazy, right? But mental health is real, man. You know what I'm saying? So what I would say, and I'm not saying this is true or not, but this is my personal opinion. This is ASOG's personal opinion on this thing. I believe personally that this gentleman had mental health issues before the PTSD, if he has it, right? Because I'm telling you right now, man, my personal opinion, I don't think PTSD alone would have somebody doing something this horrific. I just don't see it. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of folks that I met in the Army that I personally believe should have never joined. Right? I'm not sure I'm not sure how they passed MEPS. Not exactly sure how they put themselves in a situation to where they was able to pass these things. But yeah, man. Yeah, it's what's up?
You on live?
No, I'm on video. What's up?
Oh, no, I'm good.
You got the keys on the counter? Here's my son, y'all. Alright. But yeah, so yeah, I think personally there's a lot of moving parts when it comes to stuff like this, you know what I'm saying? But in all, not being a psychiatrist or psychologist, I don't think that the PTSD alone caused this thing to happen. I think there was a lot of things that were probably going on in this gentleman's life that had him do something this horrific. This is the devil's work, man. You know what I'm saying? This is the enemy. This ain't nothing but the devil. This is demonic. Like seriously, like when you look at what happened, right? And once again, more reports are gonna come out as time goes on, right? But looking at this thing from the outside looking in and reading what happened, hearing what the guy said on that press conference that I saw a couple hours ago. What kind of mental state you have to be in to do something like this? What happened in your life that had you do something this horrific? I truly believe that demons walk this earth, man. I truly believe that. And I'm not calling him a demon, but it is a possibility that he was demon possessed when he did this. You know what I'm saying? There's levels to this stuff, man. It really is. And, you know, we as human beings, my personal opinion, don't come on this earth to do demonic stuff. We come here for a purpose from God, right? It's only as we get older that we have to make choices, right? As far as like what we're going to do, how we live our lives. Then, of course, sometimes how we are raised is a big factor as well. That's why we got to stay grounded in the Lord, man. We have to stay grounded in the Lord and seek his guidance and his wisdom. We just have to. But this is extremely demonic. There's no doubt about that. You know what I'm saying? I truly believe that the devil was at play here. And yeah, man, it's very unfortunate, but you know, we have to be in a mental state where we have to, you know, keep these family members prayed up. And you know, just pray for the city, man. Pray for the city, pray for the family, the friends, pray for folks that are affected by it. And yeah, I'm gonna probably keep reading about this and see exactly what's going on. I'm very interested as far as like how things pan out. I know there's gonna be some folks and organizations gonna reach out to the families and friends of these folks, but these are little kids, man. You know what I'm saying? So we got to take care of our young ones, man. You know what I'm saying? We got to take care of our kids. We got to watch over our kids. I know that, you know, that the parents of these children never thought that something like this was going to happen. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, we got to keep the covering of God upon us all the time, man. We just have to, because demons walk this earth, man. They do. And yo, I'm telling you, I ain't even gonna front. I think I might wind up taking some anointing oil and start wiping down some of my windows, man. Like all these frames back here, my windows. You know what I'm saying? Like making sure that no demon possessed apparitions come through this house in the name of Jesus, for real. You know what I'm saying? We gotta, yeah, man. Yeah. I don't got too much else to say about it, man. I just wanted to address, you know what I'm saying, the PTSD portion of it. I'm not saying it wasn't a factor. And it could have been the total thing. It definitely could have been what was the main reason why. Because there's levels of PTSD, man, it really is. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna tell you right now, folks that have not joined the military, don't know anything about the military, and you haven't been to war, yeah. There are some things I've seen in war. I have not even told my wife. Real talk. Yeah, war is real, man. You know what I'm saying? The war is real. It's real. I understand that, you know, that folks that, you know, they applaud, you know, war heroes as war people that, well, folks that went to war as heroes and things of that nature. I'm not saying they're not heroes. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is that, you know, like, you know, please be kind to war veterans. I'm not saying that what he did was right. It definitely wasn't right at all. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying what he did was justified. I'm not saying it at all. I'm not saying that folks that are affected by combat have the right to hurt and harm people or to take folks' lives. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is that, you know, that these folks made a huge sacrifice for this country. A huge sacrifice. A sacrifice that a lot of folks were not willing to do. So volunteer force went to war. You know what I'm saying? We got Vietnam vets that were drafted, but my generation that went to the Global War of Terrorism and we went to OEF and OIF, that was volunteer, man. You know what I'm saying? There was soldiers that was under me that had came in like maybe like 5, 6 years after me, you know, during the time of war. And I told these soldiers, I said, like, you know, I have mad respect for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Even though I rank you guys, y'all got to stand at parade rest to me. I totally respect you guys because you guys literally joined the military during a war, during a time where you saw folks getting blown up. You knew the IEDs was out there. You knew folks getting rocketed, and you still joined. You know what I'm saying? I didn't join during war. I joined in '98. There was no war going on during that time, right? I re-enlisted to stay in because I wanted to, you know, to serve my country, and I knew war was would come my way eventually if I stayed long enough. I knew that, you know what I'm saying? But would I have joined the military while war was going on and at a 20-year-old guy? I don't know. I don't. You know what I'm saying? I had been in the army long enough to where like I was so for the army that it didn't matter. You know what I'm saying? I was ready for war. At least I thought I was. Right? But you know, once I got there, yeah, things get real quick, man. It does, you know. But anyways, just want to give my quick spill on that. And you know, like I said, peace and blessings to all the victims. Hope hope the families definitely are able to rest in the Lord and to get clarity and guidance and wisdom as they navigate this thing, because this is a life-altering event for them. Life will never be the same for them. And in my opinion, the only thing that's going to get these folks through this is the love of God. So I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. I'll catch y'all next video. Say so, G. Signing out. I'm gone.